Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. In this video, I'll teach you how to trade support and resistance levels. So, how do you enter around the support positions? What kind of price actions to look for? This is going to be the goal of our video. And I am going to show you multiple ways of trading these areas. So, make sure you watch this video carefully. Without wasting more time, let's get started. We do have some support resistance lines from previous tutorials available to us, so we do not need to waste more time. If you want to know how to draw these lines, you can just watch my complete course. I have a lot of education right there available. I'll just remove this line right now. There are many more support resistance videos available, and you can see how I'm drawing this support resistance level exactly, so it's easy for you to understand. And let's get started. So we have this weekly support resistance level first of all, which is this. Then this is a daily support resistance level, but I think this is more of a 4 hour support resistance level right here rather than daily. So I'll just change that again. Okay. So this is a 4 hour support resistance. This is a weekly support resistance. And I can see the price is coming back in the range. Okay. The price is coming back in the range. And what has happened when the price came back in the range? It has continued to go down till here. This is one of the other support levels. So you can have multiple support levels. It's completely fine within a particular area. For example, this is the highest support, highest resistance level. This is middle resistance and this is the middle support. So your first target should be always these lines. First one, second one. And these targets are rarely, like, you can see along this period, it got hit once and twice. Here once, twice, thrice. But this area has been hit so many times and the price has carried on to move upside a lot of times from right here. So what do I do? What kind of price action I look for right now is I can see easily that price is rejecting this level. It's clearly rejecting this level, and I think there might be something going on here. There might be a trade coming right here where you can just enter on a new lower low creation, break of structure. Let's say the price breaks right here. So don't actually enter this trade because you are going to see this video late. But the thing right now is this is the first week going on. This is the first week going on. It's Monday today. The market just started today. And while I'm recording this video, this is 29th of September 25. Okay. Now, a lot of things can change, a lot of things might act differently because this is the first week of the month, and you will see a lot of news coming in during this week. So, even I am not looking for a lot of trades. I only have like three position marked in my charts, which is for USD, JPY, GBP USD, and XA USD. XA USD, it's not available anymore. I was looking for a buy right here. I was looking for price action to, I was looking for a buy mainly right here. But the price, as soon as opened, it started moving up. So I couldn't see any structure. I couldn't enter. When I woke up, I saw the price has moved on very far. It was already 1.25% up. So there's no chance of trading this anymore. But I have USD JPY and GBP USD I'm looking for this week. And the price actually just retested around this line, but I want price action to retest this level instead of this. So I'll see. And I want a break of structure as well around this area. So I'll just wait for what price is doing because I think there was a news today and that's why price has reacted like this. It's 29. Yeah. Okay. There's no news, but I still don't want to trade currently because you can see the price action is at a point where I see a lot of consolidation, right? There is a lot of consolidation around this area. There is a lot of consolidation. I don't want to enter around this place. It's as simple as that. Also, what I can see is the price moves up, then it is retesting around this level once, twice. It didn't happen here, but twice it did this. It got rejected from right here. While coming down, it got rejected from right here and went around this area to move up. Right here as well, the price was moving up. It rejected around this area to come down to go up. So I would rather look for a price action which does exactly this because I believe in market history. I believe in the market repeats itself. The probability is higher that the market is going to hit this area. So I will wait for a trade where market is hitting this area. And you can see from right there, I can, if I want a tighter stop loss, I can enter a trade like this where this is retested. But I don't need to wait for that. As soon as I see rejections where the price is moving up from this level, I will enter. It's as simple as that. So this is GU. Anyway, not the goal of this video. Is just I want to say that make sure you trade carefully this week because there's going to be a lot of news, and first week is always not a good week to trade. A lot of people actually blow their accounts on the first week. So we have this support resistance level now, as I was saying, that I want to see different kind of structures happening, different type of things happening if I want to enter the market. The only thing is, how do you know that the market this time is going to hit this level? How do you know? So, a right way of understanding that. But if I switch to higher time frames, what I can see is always switch to higher time frames, switch your time frames and see, try to find, patterns. Try to find patterns in the charts. Now, every time the price came back to this area, came down to this area, it has, you know, went up, retested this level and went up again. Okay. And the lowest point was this, but recently all the price action has returned from around this area. A most simplest trade I can see right here. If I am right here, if I'm trying to enter right here around this level after seeing all of this price action, I can put a buy limit on this line, even though this is an anomaly. Again, this is an anomaly, and if I'm covering enough stop loss, I will still be secure. If I'm entering where I'm covering this with a good distance, let's say this is 20 pips and I'm covering the mid a little lower than the middle line of this section, I think I'll be safe. And this will eventually give me, if I'm covering the high or something like this will give me 1 is to 3. This is the common resistance area, first resistance area, and the first target actually could be this. So this is giving me 1 is to 6. Even if I keep my stop loss right here, which is a good distance, it's giving me 1 is to 4 in a very short period. So imagine you should trade based on probability. A lot of times stop loss will also get hit. For example, right here, stop loss would be hit. For here, the stop loss would be hit. Let's try to count how many times a stop loss would get hit if we are trying to take these trades. We have seen this till here that the price is rejecting around this area. So the first time I enter my trade is around here. My stop loss didn't get hit. Okay. Now here my stop loss got hit, right? On the first target, I'm closing partial positions. So I'm already closing 1 is to 3. And you need to understand this, that a lot of times the price has reversed from here, price has reversed from here. So you should actually take your TP around this level, right? So if I have entered on a trade here, I hit 1 is to 3. Then I entered here again, 1 is to 3. I am waiting for a trade right here. I didn't get this trade because it just moved from right here. Else it would have been another 1 is to 3. Now I have 6% in my account. This is one loss. This is second loss, right? 2% gone. Okay. Now I have 4% profit in front of 2% loss. It's as simple as that. And this is one, two, yeah, two trades right here. You got this profit. If you would have started somewhere around here, then again, this adds three, this removes one. So the probability is high. The only thing is you need to have enough win rate and also good risk to reward. You don't need to stick to a particular 1 hour structure change and everything. You need to make sure you need to see what the market does, how the price reacts. Okay. So I have taken 1,000 times trades like this. I have taken trades from these areas where I see rejections. I have placed trades from these areas where I have seen this high and I have entered with as simple as this trade. I can see this was one of the highest levels. So what I'll do is I'll just put my entry something like this. I'll cover this high with some distance. Okay. And I know the target is this. Okay, right here. So this is 1 is to 8, something like this. I have actually gotten one of my trade in USD CHF. I've said this before as well. I got 1 is to 12 based on this kind of price action. These levels work. These are liquidity levels and these work very well in the market. So this is one way of trading where you just put your buy limit or sell limit and enter trades. The other ways are you need to move on to a higher time frame to find these support and resistance levels because now you want to see structure changes. Okay. For structure change, you can't rely on 4 hour zones because on the daily time frame you can see this is a very small movement. You need more movement. You need better price action. So I'll just remove these lines now. Let's remove these lines and let's start marking support levels. I see price has rejected from here. I am trying to cover the low. So this low is now right. This one. I don't care about this one because we'll see a position right here. Then we have a resistance right here. Is also acting as support. It's also acting as support. Then we have this resistance. Then we have this resistance. I hope it's easy to understand what I'm doing. Just marking the most of the touches. Okay, this is the swing high. That's why I have marked this. And then this is also acting as some kind of support and resistance around these areas. But it's not so good compared to these levels. This is another, this can act as a zone. You can see the price consolidate a lot to continue the movement. This can act as a zone for continuation trends. And let's see if we would have entered trades around this and what would have been the condition. Now let's move down to one time frame, one shorter time frame. Now what I see is the price once it breaks, it has retested around this level. This is kind of a support zone, right? This is kind of a support zone on 4-hour time frame. I'll just mark this level so that there's no confusion. And this is daily support resistance and this is 4-hour support zone. And my way of understanding this is very easy. This is the second touch. Okay, we'll go here. Okay. Now these are the lows I am seeing right here. There's one low right here. There's a support happening right here. But if I want to trade the current position, I can move the line a little bit and I can see this is acting as a support right here. This is just a deeper retracement, but this is a much better support for the current price action if the trade was, if the price action, the market was right here. Okay. Now, there is a very simple way of doing this. The market rejected from this line and then went up. Okay. Now, as this has acted as support, I would want the market to use this as a support, right? I want the market to use this as a support. And how do I do it? Now, let's move down to 1 hour time frame so that we have precise entry. Okay. Now, 1 hour time frame, I see a zone there getting created right here. I see this is the low. There are many more candles, and I can just mark this because this is getting, when the price is around here, I can see the price is taking it as a second support. I hope it's easy to understand. And then I see a market structure change right around this levels. A market structure change right around this levels. You can enter these positions. So these are really big positions. You don't know whether how much time it's going to take to consolidate because this price action took a lot of time. This price action took a lot of time. Now imagine I have 187 is a very big stop loss. I don't think so. I'll take a 187. So I would rather want to enter at a discount. So at a discount would be this support line. This support line. I did see a structure change, but 187 pips is something I would never enter. On 1 hour time frame, I can see this is the distance I want to put. And then we have a better risk to reward around here. And why did we enter right here? Because we have this line marked. Imagine I didn't see this chart. I'm seeing this for the first time. And I'm seeing this price action for the first time. And I had marked this level very early before even putting this trade on. Okay. I didn't see the pip distance or anything, but I had marked this level and I can see that price action has done this. The price action has changed structure. Now, if I want to trade, it's fine if I don't get the trade. That's one thing there. But support area, this one is a very good support area. We are covering the deepest retracement that has been done and we are putting a buy limit order. And that gives us, how do we decide a target? We can decide a target based on the next liquidity level where the price might see retracement. So I see a lot of zones, a lot of rejections from right here. And also there's a kind of 145 is a psychological level. So I could have traced, closed right here, 145, which gives me 1 is to 4 and it's good enough for me. I'm happy with what the market gave me. And in fact, I can also rely on these lines. Where did the market go last time till here? Okay. Where there is a retracement, there is a retracement. So you need to find a zone. Make sure you just don't fall into these traps, but there is a zone and don't be very much greedy. You can see the market rejected from exactly to this level. So you move away a little lower from this distance and you could have captured 1 is to 5. And you don't need to do all of that. You just need to make sure you're covering 1 is to 3, 1 is to 4. There is a liquidity level right here as well. So make sure you always check what has happened in the market. There is a liquidity level right here, and then there is a liquidity level right here. You want to get the nearest one, the closest one, not the one which is, very far from the lowest liquidity level. So this is the liquidity level, and I am covering a good distance. I always keep space. If you see, I'm not just creating this position out of thin air. This is how I always mark my level. It doesn't matter if the market even move further. It doesn't matter for me. In all my videos, you will see this is how I keep my take profit. I am not greedy to, for a small thing, I'll just go to 1 is to 5, 1 is to 6. I don't care. I can just create a position like this and say, okay, the market went 1 is to 8. No, I want to close my trade as early as I can. That is what my primary thing is. I want to close it as fast as I can. And this is how I close fast. And this is what my thoughts are when I'm looking to enter trades near a support or resistance levels. Now, there are more ways to enter trade. You already saw that 4-hour change structure right here. Okay. 4-hour change structure right here. And this is the support from where the odds of price retesting is high because the market has retested previously right here on these levels to go up. The price might have, retested here as well, and in fact it did right here, but that's not clearly visible. So the price might have came back, the price might have pushed here again, and if you're not covering this level properly, then your stop loss might get hit. So you need to make sure your stop loss is wide enough. It's looking like 72 pips, right? You can see it's 72 pips, but the trade you got entry around this level right here on Monday 9 p.m., right? And you are out of the trade on Friday 1 a.m. That's 4 days. Yeah, that's 4 days, and it's pretty good. That's 4 days of price action. You're getting almost 1 is to 5% in a week, which is something a lot of traders wish. But you need to make sure you enter good positions. You need to make sure you choose right time frames to enter. When there is a daily time frame going on, you're looking at a support and resistance level, which is from daily time frame. You need to make sure you are in confluence with 4-hour time frame as well. You need to make sure 4-hour structure is also in your direction. You're looking for a bullish trade, 4-hour structure should be bullish as well. Unless you see a structure which is not possible to change. For example, let's say your higher high is right here and your lower low is right here, then it's very difficult for the price to change structure, right? At this point, you just rely on support resistance levels in the past and then you trade. Or you just skip the trade. That's it. Don't take the trade. Don't look for it at all. So that is how you trade price action. There are more ways of doing it. Again, those are all based on change of structure right here as well. You can say this is a 4-hour structure and this got changed right here. But when the price is actually breaking this level, right, exactly repeating the same way, it's exact same thing right here. And you can see the break happened right here and the retracement was right here. And if you would have put a buy limit around this level again, covering the area, even though the trade went 70% retracement, again, you could have got same 1 is to 5 or something like that based on the previous. Yeah, on this one, 1 is to 5, 1 is to 6, something like that. Yeah. So enter like this, enter with right confluences. Make sure you're using market history the right way. This is how I trade. I use market history a lot. I use market history for everything. All my trades are based on market history. My technical analysis is based on market history. I know this. This is my edge that market is going to repeat itself most of the times. Compared to it's going to hit my stop loss, the market is going to repeat itself most of the times. My win rate with market is going to be higher rather than against the market. I completely trade based on, let's say, if you see 10 times the market has rejected from this resistance level and one time it has broken, right? And you see the market has rejected from this level to the pip from around this area. So what would you do? Would you enter a trade around this area waiting for a change of structure, or you would just sell from this position because the probability is 10 times the market has rejected from this level to the pip and I am covering enough stop loss and I might get a risk to reward of, even if the price just moved till here, I might get a risk to reward of, let's say, 7, 8, 9, something like that. So of course you would risk that money, right? Of course you would risk that money. So that is why you mark this level. That is why I always mark the highest weak point I can, so that Once I mark this, I can see everything clearly. Once you have these lines, these support resistance lines on your chart, everything becomes clearly visible, because right here you can see here as well. This is a good resistance area, price rejection. Imagine a day trader or a scalper can easily use these levels. They can use these levels to see smaller structure changes. For example, on 1 hour, 30 minute, everything, a lot of resistance is happening right here. A break of structure is happening right here on 30-minute time frame, and you can just enter for short, and this will give you 1 is to 3, 1 is to 4 itself. This small price action will give you 1 is to 4 if you're trading lower time frames. That is how you use support resistance. That is how you trade on support resistance levels. There are different type of price actions you wait for 1 hour structure change depending on what you are seeing in the market, not based on what you're thinking that the price might just go up and come down. Not that way. You don't need to wait for 4 hour to get into your confluence, 1 hour to be in your confluence, 15 minute to get into your confluence. All you need is the market history. That is it. You need to see what market has done in history, and you need to start drawing lines around it, create local zones, and see what is the next lowest level, what kind of price action the market is doing, whether it's repeating itself. If it is repeating, you just need to follow what it has done. That is it. That is how you enter trades. I hope you like this video. Make sure you press the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I am putting a lot more educational content every day. So make sure you subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.